offensive started like that. The army didn't cooperate with Dr. Morsi. And even the intelligence of the army started many troubles in Sinai. Sinai is neighbor to Israel. So they started many troubles there in order to show that the country is not stable under Dr. Morsi. Number two, the police left the streets for the criminals and gangsters. If you go to any police station to report someone who has stolen your wallet or whatever, the policeman say to you, we are in a vacation, we are on leave for 4 years. What does it mean? We are on leave for 4 years. That means the time of Dr. Morsi. We are on leave. My wife and my daughter suffered from the same. My wife was stolen twice, and my daughter twice. And every time they go to the police station, and different police stations, they have the same answer. Bring Morsi to help you. You brought Morsi to power, so bring Morsi to help you and bring the thief for you. So the police left the way and left the streets for the criminals and gangsters, in order also to show, see, Morsi is failure. He cannot run. He cannot rule. The country is already mess. Go up, people. Come back to the streets against Morsi again. This is number two. Number three, the media. The media played a very dirty role, actually. They started to tarnish the name of Dr. Morsi and his government. Even, can you believe, Dr. Morsi, his mother, some people insult him by his mother, say, you are bastard, or you are so and so. Some people say, your wife has a veil, so your wife doesn't represent us. We don't like your wife. This is my freedom. This is my liberal freedom. To have a veil or not to have a veil, to have something on my hair or not to have, this is my own freedom. So they started to insult him. They started to speak badly about his own life. One of his son, his child, he was 18 years old or 21 years old. He got a job. The job was only, salary was 900 pounds. So the media started to say, oh, Morsi got a job for his son, 25,000 pounds. So the boy left the job and went out to work in Saudi Arabia. The son of the president cannot have a work in his own country. Two of his children were working, one as a doctor and the other one as engineer in Saudi Arabia. They can, even the president cannot find a job for his son inside his country. His sister had a cancer and he refused to put her in a hospital which are high standard hospital. He said, my sister should be treated in ordinary hospital like any other Egyptian. And she died in the hospital of cancer. This is the man that they were against. So actually, the conspiracy against Morsi, also even the judge, they had a rule. What was the rule of the judge? Every time some people go to throw stones against Dr. Morsi when he is in the street, or against even the presidential palace, can you imagine? They take a bulldozer and they try to take the gate of the presidential palace. But what happened? After they arrest the gangster, what happened? The judge set them free. No one was arrested in the time of Dr. Morsi. No one was put in the jail in the time of Dr. Morsi. So those four, media, army, police, judge, on top of that, what we call it in Egypt, the deep state. What's the deep state? The state that was formed at the time of Mubarak, they started to make trouble for the people. Every time, blackout of electricity. Every 1 hour. So the people, they say, cares on you, Morsi. You are the reason of the blackout. So, not only that, when you go to petrol station to put some oil for your car, you don't find petrol. Where is it? They take the petrol and they threw it in the desert in order to make the stations empty. So the people became very angry. No petrol, electricity is no more electricity, and the streets, no more security, no more safe. So we are against, surely we should be against. That was the conspiracy against this man, and this is why they made the 30 June Photoshop revolution, which was like that. Those people who became very angry of what happening. Yes, anyone should be unhappy. No electricity, our food in the fridge is not is damaged every time. So why? We don't want to worse. We need the food in our refrigerators. So those people were forced to go out. Beside them, the minorities in Egypt also, they agreed to go in the day. And number 3, the army soldiers, the simple army soldiers, were forced to wear ordinary clothes, civil clothes, to go in that day. This is why this Photoshop revolution only for 6 hours. Do you see any revolution in the world in 6 hours only? This is a revolution, paid revolution. Because the one came here just to stand, to shout, to make slogans for 6 hours. Okay, 6 hours finished, I'm going back, finish. Because they played the military coup d'etat this time, not to go to the palace and take the president from his chair. No, they wanted to play another way. America wanted to show it is intelligent this time. So they played it this way. The game is, let the people go, then the army come and say, I only came to fulfill the wishes of the people. The people don't want you anymore, so I am the army of the people, so I will take you out to fulfill the wishes of the people. This is how the game was done. So we are against this. Why? This game, if we let it go in Egypt, it can go in any other country. If it happens, it can go in any country. So the Egyptians now are in the streets to defend every democratic nation, actually. To defend every right for any man in his democratic nation. Because if this coup, if this coup d'etat go, so that means any other place can play that Photoshop, can play that game and say the army is fulfilling the wishes of the people. The wishes of the people only can be fulfilled by the votes, by the election. The president came by election. You want to get him, let him go, also you go through the box of the votes. This is the way. So actually, Egyptians, by the way, likes the Malaysian experience. For your information, Dr. Morsi has a project called Renaissance Project. The Renaissance Project was planned by 1,000 experts from different fields of knowledge. Some of those experts came here to Malaysia and studied the Malaysian experts, and Malaysia was model for Egypt, by the way, in some certain points. And Turkey is the second model that we want to imitate, to have a benefit from it. But those experts visited more than 50 countries of the world to make their project. So, can you practice a project within 1 year? For any country? In any country, you have the government 4 years or 5 years. So, how come you say to Morsi after 1 year, thank you, Mr. President, you failed, go out, and we will continue after you in another roadmap? This is ridiculous. Actually, these are the main points about what happened, and this is why the people went out now in millions in the streets to say no for the coup d'etat. And if the numbers is the judge here, so the number that went out in the 30th of June was only about 3 to 4 million by the witness of Google itself. There was an announcement by Google that proved that the number that went out in the day of 30th of June was only 3 to 4 million in all Egypt. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in all Egypt, people are there, and even they are killed in the streets. Till now, more than 500 people killed, 1,500 injured, and 1,200 in the jail. People are there to say no for coup d'etat. We need our civil rights again. We need legitimacy again. We need democracy again. I hope in the whole history, the history tells us that the right way should win at the end of the day. And this is why the people in Egypt are very confident they will win the game, although the brutality of the regime there. Thank you, and if there is a time, I
will. So this is orchestrated. You know what I mean? The police do not want to work, then crime goes up, and there's no electricity. You know, this is really something for us Malaysians to ponder. And we, as a Kelantanis, we have been, you know, for the last more than 23 years now. This happened to us also. Now, just in case, thank you, Dr. Alaa. I think we have been entertained by him, even though it is a story, I think. But when Dr. Morsi won the election, CNN and BBC said, good, this is for the first time in 7,000 years that there is democracy in Egypt. Can I ask you a personal question, Dr. Alaa? Yeah. Has ever during the Pharaoh, they had elections or not?
There's been not only 7,000 years, that's right. At the time of Pharaoh, no election. Pharaoh used to say, I am your God.
7,000 years, there was no election, and then there was election, and it was killed within a year. This is very interesting. Secondly, when I looked through the internet, I went through the Middle Ages of Egypt. Egypt was known as the breadbasket of the world because of the river Nile, longest river in the world, the Blue Nile and the river Nile, the White Nile. It is the most fertile ground in the world. So the whole of the Middle East, actually, they get their bread, their food from Egypt, actually. So Egypt actually is a rich country. That's where civilization started. I think about 75 to 90% of the profits come within that region, Egypt and the surrounding region. And the other thing that we have to know as well about Morsi is not a normal person. He hails from University of Southern California. In material science, not in Islamic studies, not in any, but in material science, metallurgy. You know, he is from that, and he was a lecturer there as well. So he's a very qualified person in that sense. Right, I think without further ado, we have been entertained by Dr. Aran, looking through at the historical facts, looking at the geographical facts, things that, because his wife and his children, daughters live there in Tanta. So this he's telling day to day, SMS that he receives day to day what's happening over there from his wife.